Perth just got a good one, boys. Junior Tafa versus Waldo Cortes Acosta just got announced today. Just yesterday, Junior Tafa versus Austin Lane was announced, and then Austin Lane has already pulled out of the fight. So now we've got Junior Tafa taking on Austin Lane, which is gonna be versus Waldo Cortes Acosta. This is gonna be a fun fight. Like, Junior Tafa's 4-0. All four of his MMA wins come last year in an absolutely insane 2022, and it started in July. This guy won 4 fights in MMA and a fight in boxing within about 6 months, and then the UFC signed him. He was actually rumoured to make his pro debut on Dana White's Contender Series last year. I've got hiccups, I can't get rid of them, I'm sorry. He was actually meant to make his pro MMA debut last year on Dana White's Contender Series. I believe he even posted an Instagram post of him with a contract, and it just didn't end up happening, unfortunately. But man, he fought a guy with a losing record to start. Then he fought Calvin Fatale, who's the only guy to ever go out of the first round with him in MMA, because after that, he knocked out a couple of really good guys, and Tsuyoshi Sudario, very good fighter from Japan. If Tsuyoshi Sudario won that fight, he would have gotten signed to the UFC. And this Calvin Fatale guy, he made it to the second round, early into the second round with Junior Tafa, but he's not really some sort of bum. He hasn't really fought anyone great. He does have a win over Roque Martinez, who ended up in the UFC. He did beat Ben Sassoli, who ended up in the UFC, but then lost to him. And then Raheem Cleveland, who's in Bellator. Dominic Steele, former UFC fighter. Strangely enough, Dominic Steele, I believe, weighed in at 250 pounds for that fight when he used to fight at welterweight in the UFC, which is crazy. But Junior Tafa defended a lot of takedowns in that fight, and he did look a little bit tired before the finish, so I do worry a little bit about maybe the cardio. But this is going to be a war, man. The winner of this fight's going to get a big push from the UFC. If Waldo Cortes Acosta wins, he's 10-0, and then he's going to get a push. If Junior Tafa wins, he's got that style, man. Former Glory kickboxer, KO'd guys in the first round regularly in Glory kickboxing as well. We're talking about a very good Glory kickboxing here. First round KO over Host Wilson, 3 knockdowns in 2 minutes 20 against Anthony McDonald. First round KO with 3 knockdowns against this guy here in Glory as well. We've got a good one, boys. The UFC signed a good one, and he's going to be a very good Australian prospect, in my opinion. And yeah, he was originally meant to fight against Austin Lane. I think Austin Lane started watching the tape on Tafa and was like, yeah, this side just taken from the chief. Or maybe he just didn't get a visa. Or maybe he got injured, one of the two. But Junior Tafa, man, literally fought 4 times in 5 months in MMA and did a boxing match, won them all. Won almost all of the MMA fights in the first round. And I do worry about the cardio a little bit, because Junior Tafa was slowing down quite a bit in that Kevin Fidel fight. But I think he's going to be good for this one, man. I think he's going to knock out Waldo Cortes Acosta. Cortes Acosta's a big boy, though. Junior Tafa, I believe, started his MMA career at light heavyweight, and now he's going to be fighting at heavyweight. Yeah, he started at light heavyweight, and that was only a few months ago. I don't know if what Junior Tafa's going to commit to heavyweight, but it doesn't look massive for the heavyweight division. And Waldo Cortes Acosta's a big boy, and he's a good boxer. He doesn't check leg kicks whatsoever, so Junior Tafa, with his Glory kickboxing experience and his decent kickboxing, is going to be chopping at those legs, man. I think he's going to chop down the legs of Waldo Cortes Acosta and then find the KO after that. Junior Tafa rips the body. He goes to the head. He's just really technical, and he's got heaps of power as well, and he really does carry it up to the heavyweight division. And I think he's going to finish Waldo, man. Waldo, at the end of the day, I'm high on this guy. I really am high on Waldo, but I'm very high on Junior Tafa as well. I was a very big fan of him when he beat Thomas Peterson, and then he got in Dana White's Contender Series and beat Danilo Souza up in a brawl. Fought Jared Vandeira. Fought 3 weeks or 2 weeks later again against Chase Sherman, and a lot of people respect that hustle. And now he's getting straight back in there against Junior Tafa, who is the younger brother of Justin Tafa, if you guys didn't know. But this is a big deal, boys. This is a good fight. The winner is going to get a big promotional push from the UFC, and they're going to be billed as the next up-and-coming heavyweight, in my opinion. I think they're going to get the fights that are going to get them maybe towards their rankings, and maybe they'll build up with Waldo Cortes Acosta a little bit, record a bit like they did with Alexander Romanov, maybe in 13-0, 14-0, and with Junior Tafa, they'll just give him guys that he could probably KO. I know Jared Vandeira ain't in the UFC anymore, but Junior Tafa would knock out Jared Vandeira. That's the kind of fighter that they would give Tafa, and they'd build him up that way. I like Tafa in the matchup, man. He's the much more technical kickboxer. Waldo Cortes Acosta is a decent boxer. He does have a boxing background, and he did beat up Thomas Peterson, which is a very, very good win, and does continue to age well, as Thomas Peterson's a very good prospect you should keep your eye on. But when it comes to the UFC, Waldo Cortes just beating the guys that they give to the prospects, like Jared Van Der and Chase Sherman. And Junior Tafa, he's a good prospect himself, man. He's young, kickboxing experience, you know, he hits hard, he works the legs, the body, the head, and I think he's going to chop those legs of Waldo, man. But this is going to be a great fight. Tafa gang is real, though, man. The Tafa's got a lot of followers, a lot of people liking him, and I cannot wait for this fight. It's gonna be great. It's great. I'm very happy that Waldo Cortes Acosta stepped in of all people, because then we've got undefeated versus undefeated at heavyweight. It's a lot more intrigue to this card. I feel like this card is still missing one more fight. For a decent pay-per-view, I like 15 fights. We've got 15 fights at UFC 283. Let's do a 15-fight UFC 284 card. Let's do it. Like, where's Dan Hooker at? You know, maybe Roderick Whittaker versus Jared Cannonier. Maybe like just where's Dan Hooker though? You know what I mean? Or like where's who else is from New Zealand or Australia that just isn't on this card? I can't really think of anyone. They've really got the boys. You know, let's just do a fight between fighters that maybe aren't even from New Zealand or Australia. Jeez, my hiccups aren't getting any better, are they? This would make the video hilarious for you guys, though. I'm sure it's quite funny, but you know what I mean? Like, surely there's someone that wants to fight in Australia, even if they're not from New Zealand or Australia. Let's just put it on there. Another fight. Let's make it happen, and would be quite good. So looking forward to it. But man, I'm sure the hiccups made this video hilarious. But I do like Junior Tafa as a sign-in for the UFC. So let's go.